Firing at plate in 3, 2, 1. Oh man.
Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a customizable PVC air rifle. Alright, the first thing we're going to start with is the air tank. Let's get to it. Alright, so basically it goes off of 2 soda bottles. They can either be the big kind or the smaller kind or the 1 liter kind in the middle. It doesn't really matter because all that we're doing is adjusting the caps. So you can actually interchange between large and big tank size, and I think that's pretty handy. So what you first want to do is take some of this tubing that I have in my hands, and you're going to drill a hole in the bottle that's just right, and on the bottom of each one. I mean, I already did it because I've already completed this project. The only part I haven't completed is a component I'll show you later. So then after that, you're just going to take some epoxy, and then if it keeps leaking, I just used putty epoxy to completely seal it. One mistake I made is I drilled the holes too big. Going to make them as small as possible, just so that you have to squeeze it to fit it in, so it's an airtight fit. Alright, so after you've done that, you're going to need the cap. So what you're going to do with the cap is you're going to drill a hole, take one of these bike valves, and just pull it up through with pliers. I showed you how to do this in the last video with the PVC cap. It's the same thing. Then what you're going to want to do is take some more of that tubing I have here and take your other cap and drill the hole and put the tubing through. What I actually did, I had a pipe, like nipple, that is specific, or they're called barbs. Sorry. They specifically meant for these pipes. It's not, you don't need that, you can just do it like you did on the bottles, but it's easier. So I have one on here, and it goes all the way to our PVC attachment. And there's another one right here. The PVC, you don't need any PVC glue except for the part that's going from the air tank to the trigger. So this trigger, it's just goes on an air compressor. It's as simple as that. You just hook it up right here. It goes from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. You just find some brass or steel fittings that'll work in there. But I mean, that's pretty simple. And this is just a female 1/2 inch threaded adapter, and this is just a 1/2 inch PVC cap. Now on the other end is just the same thing, another one of those adapters with another female threaded 1/2 inch PVC thing. This is kind of expensive, so another option. This is another one of my air rifles. This is kind of cheaper if you don't count the spring, but I just had some springs lying around. It's just a ball valve secured with a screw, and when you pull it, it lets some air in, but the spring keeps it from letting all the air out. It's not as easy or comfortable. I would recommend the air gun, but it's cheaper. Alright, so once you've done all that, it's time to move on to the body. Alright, so here we have the basic PVC layout. I'll go through starting from the back. Here we have the stock. You don't have to do this exact configuration, but this is just a really simple starter one. So it's just elbow and a cap, a little bit of length of PVC, which goes up to this elbow. You'll see there's holes here. That's where you screw them together. And that's why we're not using glue, because you want to be able to customize it. Then here's a length. This is just a 3D printed iron sight. I'll have a link to this file in the description. I made it myself. It's simple, it's not needed, but pretty cool. So then this end needs to be plugged. Well, this one's with hot glue. You can also use epoxy. That's a little better, but it's not needed. Oops, this is in the wrong place. This is where the air comes in. So the trigger is going to be right here. So it connects there, and then that's where the air comes from. Goes here, There's no pluggings on this one, and this is the other end of the iron sight. Then here's a handle, and this one needs to be plugged as well, so the air just doesn't blow this out. And then it goes to a barrel. This is the first barrel I'm gonna show you. This one's simple, just CPVC pounded into PVC. I sanded it a little before I pounded it, but you could probably get it in with brute force. The good thing about CPVC is if you drill it out with a 1/2-inch drill bit, it's perfect for Nerf bullets. Oops, looks like I had another one in there. You can also use 3D printed slugs, which I also have a link to. See, those also fit. Now the second barrel I'm going to show you how to make is for airsoft BBs. And that's just going to be a big water bottle up here that holds all the BBs, and then they come out. And I'll get to that now. Alright, so now we're making the BB attachment. So the air goes here, BBs come out here, they come up through here, and the handle goes out here. So if you imagine this, now we're going to take this component. So this is just a 1/2-inch PVC connector that goes to 3/4 inch. You could just use a 1/2-inch coupling, but this size works better for the cap, which I just put a little epoxy on and then drilled a hole. So that is where all the BBs are going to come through, because a soda bottle just screws on here and the BBs funnel down here and come out here. But as of now, if we just attach these little section of PVC like so, the BBs can go back into the chamber or partially down the handle. We don't want that. So we're going to take a bunch of nails and we'll drill holes, put a bunch of them here and here to make sort of a grate that holds the BBs in this center chamber, so that the air can come through here and they'll be pushed out, but the nails will keep the BBs from going back that way. Alright, let's get started. Alright, as you can see, I've marked out the dots where I need to do the holes, and I put the first nail in right here, and now we can see the next nails will just line up, which will make a grate that lets air in but does not let BBs out. Alright, let's finish it. Alright, now I have the first grate in place. I just need to trim off these and then do the second one. Alright, now I've finished doing the grates, and now we can put this thing all together. I almost forgot the actual barrel and, I guess, tip. So what you're going to need is one of these pens, they're really cheap, and a PVC cap. So you're going to take the pen apart. So you're just left with this tube, and you're going to want to save the cap so that the BBs don't spill out every time. Alright, so then you're going to drill a small hole in the center. Well, at least try to be center. I never get exactly right. Then take another drill bit that's just a tiny bit smaller than this, and you're going to drill out this hole. Alright, once you've drilled the hole, you're going to put in the tube, and you're going to want it just to stick out a tiny bit. Not too much, because we're going to be filling that part in with hot glue. Make sure your barrel's mostly straight. Alright, once you've done that, then you're going to take some hot glue and just fill in a tiny bit around. Might be a little hard to get in there, but this way the BBs won't get caught behind the edge of the barrel. Alright. You can kind of see mine. I'm going to let that cool, and if a little hot glue drips a little bit inside, that's okay. You can just take a drill bit and get rid of it. Then you're going to want to add a little bit of hot glue on the outside, just to make it extra secure. Alright, now just fit this together, put it on the open end, take your soda bottle. Fill with a few BBs, obviously more than this, but this is just a test. Screw it on. And you're gonna, now they all go down. Alright, well none of them are coming out yet. Alright, it appeared the problem was this hole wasn't big enough, the BBs were getting kind of caught there. So, I winded it up. Now let's see if it works. Well, that's kind of failed, but... Oh yeah, they definitely fill up the chamber now. And if we put the tip back on and blow, yep, they come out. Alright, now let's put the whole gun together. Alright, I finally finished it. You can see I added this 3D printed piece which allows you to hold Nerf attachments like the scope. Again, not necessary, but if you want it, the link is in the description. I would make the just the whole thing a little bigger because I had to sand it a lot to get it on. And then now I'm going to show you a brief firing test. Alright, now we're going to be doing the test video of the air gun. You can see my target here, just a cardboard box with some paper taped on it. To show the power, the only thing loaded in here right now is a Nerf bullet. I'm going to see if it can go through. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Nice! As you can see, we went right through with no problem. Now we're going to switch to some heavier ammo. Alright, so now I've got the hard plastic bullet with a nail in it and this 1/2-inch barrel because it's a larger round. Alright, step back, testing in 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, that certainly did the trick. You can see all the way through. It actually went into my yard somewhere. Now I gotta go find it. Alright, now what we've finally been waiting for, the airsoft attachment. Alright, firing in 3, 2, 1. Alright, I'm just gonna blast this thing point blank and have to hold it so it doesn't knock over. Alright, so what's happening with the BB attachment is the BBs are falling through and they're getting stuck in a configuration where they're like in a cluster, but the air can pass through them and out the barrel, but the BBs stay in place. So my solution was going to come in the next video where I'm going to take some of this tube. This isn't the right size, but I'm going to take something like this pipe and wrap the tube around, and then the tube is going to hold all the BBs, and then the tube is going to go into another barrel, or like an extension that it connects to the barrel, so it'll be a straight away, and that way nothing can happen. And I guess I'll have the air coming at the other end of the tube on the other side. Alright, but for now I'm going to see if we can break something a little bigger. Let's try out the nail bullet on this. Alright, now we're going to be shooting this old ceramic plate with the nail bullet. Alright, hopefully we can break it. Firing at plate in 3, 2, 1. Oh man. that certainly worked. Alright, look out for my next video where I'm going to be redoing the airsoft gun and showing you guys all my weapons I've built in the past and testing it out on my old school supplies and other items. Alright, thanks for watching.